Hi, it's Hazel, and welcome to my channel, Hazel and Aka Design. Well, my lovelies, it's starting to look a lot like Christmas around here. We had a couple of inches of snow overnight, and it is postcard perfect out there. We have a lot of spruce trees, a lot of poplars and other trees, so every branch is coated with, a couple of inches of snow, and it does look gorgeous. Maybe that'll help a person get into the Christmas spirit. Anyway, I think I'm feeling, thank you for those of you who, hoped that I would feel better. I think I am. Had to postpone my dental appointment yet again. Anyway, I'll spare you the gory details about my cold sore and its lingering effects. I have a sage diffuser running here in the studio, and today I put thieves oil in it. Supposedly that is one that is supposed to help with, prevent infections and that sort of thing. Apparently, a lot of people use it. I don't know if it's available in roller form as well, but apparently back in the day when people died of whatever, the plague or something, there was this concoction that people could sort of rub around or into their noses to to ward off breathing in, these contaminants and these infectious things. So anyway, enough about that. But my air does feel healthier already. Anyway, this is my teeny weeny little slide collection, which is very few. And because I never really knew what to do with them, that seemed like, oh, why do I have so many slides? Now it seems like, oh, too bad I have so few slides. One time when I was at a thrift store, I found these things, and you can just tell by the packaging that they're old. I thought I paid maybe more than I wanted to, but then, sometimes you just do it because of the packaging, and it's something that you may never see again. So anyway, these are okay, so these are the typical, and I have to say, I really know nothing about slides. We never, as growing up or as an adult since then, ever had anything to do with slide projectors or anything like that. These are ones that I found at an artist's, I don't even know what you call those places, but where artists donate their surplus, or I guess anyone donates their surplus stuff, and artists are then able to get them at a fairly decent price. Anyway, I'll just quickly show you this, and then we'll get to the business at hand. So these are big, or bigger. So, 2 3/4 square, and that is glass. Now, it seems to me, when I first bought them, I opened a couple up just to see what's what. Oh, why is that? I don't know if one side is, let me look at one that's intact. Oh, I guess they're all like this. So, I'm just showing you options at this point. I figured if I'm going to steal someone's idea and bring it to my subscribers, then I should at least see what other options there might be. Now this is, and you can just tell that these things are well made. Does it say the country of origin? Made in Sweden. I don't know necessarily why I believe that things that are made in Europe are better. But, okay, roughly 2 inches square, which would be the same as one of these paper ones. But again, this is I think it's real glass. Yeah, double glass slide binders. See, and if I knew what, okay, so here are instructions. So that's that. And then this box, which is equally beautiful. Looks like this was made in New York. Look at that, isn't it nice? Really nothing descriptive on here at all. This is what was in that box. So, let's see if I can get anything out with these fingernails. So, I didn't realize till just now that these have slides in them. So that means I've got a lot more paper slides than I thought. And I guess those are just the holders. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, and this is a nice little metal case. So, what is the idea and why have I been rambling on about this? The other day, I saw Nancy from Wishes and Weeds doing an idea that she had put on her to-do list that she had gotten from, I'm going to have to look up the lady's name. I've since subscribed to her. Anyway, the whole idea was to use these slide frames and use little tiny bits of linens. So most of us are not short of, you know, things like this. So for instance, this, I cut off something that clearly hadn't even been finished. There's still some stamping here that was never finished. So there are things like that, things like this that I, you know, not the greatest looking thing in the world, but 4 tiny little motifs that look pretty darn cute when they're mounted. So when I started looking through my bits and pieces, I realized that that many of the things I have are larger. I didn't bring many examples because you understand what larger means. Far too big for these little viewfinders, so to speak. Now I have to say that, like most of you, when there's a video playing, I am not, unless, you know, I'm doing this at bedtime, I am busy doing something and listening and glancing up and making notes or whatever as I go along. I cannot say that I watched all of Nancy's video, because sometimes you think, oh, I got the essence of the idea. Let me add it. Now, I don't know, to be honest, if she used both sides of the slide. So for instance, this is what this one would have looked like. And I thought, oh, that looks old and so on. So I took it apart. There is nothing, no cello or anything protecting the embroidery, but I don't consider that a detriment in any way. And so basically I tried to be as careful as I could separating these things to, in effect, double the number of frames. So this was a pair, this was a pair, and that's all I did. Now, because I thought I had so few in my little doohickey here, I also took apart ones that are just white plastic. Now, they're thin and they're fine. They were easy to cut apart, and they were also, I opened them all up, so I can't really show you that, but it was easy to open these up, easier than the paper. And frankly, they are a blank slate for decorating. I should point out that this one is 1957. So that's pretty cool. And then I also, because I thought, oh, I'm going to be on a roll here, so I used some old, what do you call them, end papers that were neutral, and I basically cut them into 2-inch squares. And then with the first one, I realized, well, that's a little too big, because you don't want your backing showing to your front, and then you end up having to trim. So then on the second one, I trimmed 2 sides, because that's all you need to make the thing smaller. I also kept these little things that had been in there, thinking, well, you know, rule number 1, don't throw anything away. So at some point, I hope I have an idea to use those up. So anyway, let us just proceed and see what we can do here. So I picked this because it is lovely and colorful, and I wanted to see if I could actually isolate something like if a person, these are delicate and lovely, but there is room in the world for bright and vibrant and in your face, over the top. So I guess the beauty of all of this is so good you can't even tell which is the back. I'd say this is the front. I was looking at the wrong side. So this obviously was done by machine, but that doesn't take anything at all away from it. Oh, this might be nice with the blue frame. So hopefully I can cut this up, get several pieces without having anything sort of disintegrate here. So let's do 1 or 2. I've got art glitter glue. I had this little thing in case I wanted to pry open another one. Ooh, 1948. Man, that's thin. That may need a little more finessing than I can muster right now. I might need a blade, something a bit thinner than that. So anyway, we have about 4 or so to work with here, and that's more than enough. Okay, so maybe just to, you know what, let me put that aside for a minute, and we'll use one that like this. So I'm going to try this plastic one. Now this one has the 2 holes, which is A-okay, because now I guess it's obvious, I haven't done any additional decorating. But a person could, of course, add lace or, a wee bit of fabric, a sticker, punch a hole and add a grommet, so the typical whatever your go-to method of decorating something is. So this already has a hole. So let's just do that. Now, the other thing I found is, because there's a fair bit of bulk here, you don't want more bulk than absolutely necessary, because it does make it harder to glue it. And again, you can be a little artsy-fartsy with the placement. It doesn't have to be, it could be at an angle like so. So I think what will be the simplest here, well, I can easily cut some of this off. And you know what? Maybe this is a job for Fabri-Tac. Because with all these French knots here, it is a bit, thicker than the others I've done. So maybe while that glue is moving, I could find another I don't want to just cut in randomly to something without Be nice to get one of those daisies or whatever it is, but anyway, I hope that you guys are well. I hope that you're, whatever it is that you're doing is goes like a well-oiled machine today. I think I should maybe cut this one out. I have to sort of work my way into the bigger design. You know, like a well-oiled machine, because of course what you're doing could be crafting, it could be working a day job, it could be Christmas shopping, it could be just about anything under the sun. Just got the formal, if you can call the text formal, invitation from my daughter and her partner for Christmas Day dinner. But of course, we will go the night before for Christmas Eve and do our gift exchange then and so on. So that's nice. I have to say that because I'm not a natural, maybe that red is not the greatest there. I'm not a natural baker. Like I guess, well, let me maybe clarify. I'm the kind of person that if I baked it, I would eat it. And trust me, that is not something that I need at all. So best not to do it. Plus, I don't find it relaxing, or that's not my creative outlet. That's going to be cute. I guess well, not that there's a right or, I mean an up or a down on this, but see, even this plastic one is 1989, so that's not bad. Anyway, if we do those three, we should be fine. Okay. So I think this was my first one. And of course, it's like most other things. If you're going to get yourself set up and you're going to pull out your supplies, you're not going to do one. You're going to do several, because that only makes sense from an efficiency standpoint. I'm just trying to reach my corsage pin here. Whoa, did you see that? I almost stabbed myself. Hopefully that does the trick. Now, it's lightweight, so I don't need to go overboard with the glue, I don't think, but... Okay, so I've just put a bead around there to capture this. Try to maximize the, even if the thing is at an angle, try to maximize the amount of the design that shows. So I will I think I'll just trim this excess right now instead of adding more glue to hold it down, because again, it does make, since I'm just using a paper backing, which now would anyone actually write at the back of it? Probably not, because it would be bumpy. I guess a person could be more exact in cutting the little piece of fabric and then avoid this step, but I wanted to be able to change the placement if necessary. The dentist's office phoned this morning to confirm my appointment for tomorrow for the installation of that crown. And I had to say, well, you know, I was going to call you anyway. Because now, and I don't know, I guess tell me in the comments if you prefer not to hear about medical things or whatever, then I can certainly stop talking about them. I always think that I don't talk about things just for the sake of talking. I usually am trying to convey a lesson learned or a bit of trivia or something that I've learned, because I've long believed that I'm not going to live long enough to make all the mistakes myself. So if I can learn from someone else's, both mistakes and successes, then that's what I prefer to do. Anyway, this thing is at the point now where it is, you know, what are we, like day... there was a little bump there, and now I'm having to trim the whole length. Okay, it's Thursdays I'm doing this. So it's like day 9 or so. So now I'm pretty sure, well, it is past the contagious stage, but it's at the scab stage, which means that, you know, if I bump it or if I put some lip balm on, it starts bleeding. So they don't like blood at the dental office either, unless they're the ones who created it. So yeah, next week will be the magic day. See, this fabric is thinner. Now what I should do is try to cut some of this without making it too short. Cut this off, this edge, sort of that blanket stitch kind of part. Okay, so those 3 are just waiting for backings. This one seems kind of, well, I guess these 2 are thicker. Now, let's try, just for the heck of it, you don't need to see me glue paper onto the back, because you can, with your powers of imagination, you can figure that part out. Okay, let's do, well, let me first get in a little closer here. Because, of course, I do want to save this fancy-dancy stuff here. So I'm going to, so when I cut this apart from whatever it was, maybe a luncheon cloth or something, I made it smaller so that, you know, it's not storing a whole tablecloth in a drawer. I'm trying to have these corners meet. I'm just thinking, do we want to, maybe on this one I should do a bigger one. How do I do this though? That looks like it should just, what's going to be better, my little screwdriver? Because bigger would be better. Now, mind you, that would be quite a are these things just sort of pressed in there, or what the heck? think I should be able to pop that off. Come on. Okay, okay, okay. That is such like thin, I don't know what, aluminum? Hardly seems thicker than foil, to be honest. Look how easily it bends. Maybe if I was using my screwdriver, I wouldn't be bending it so much. Now, what's our motto? Don't throw anything away. Hey, how about grunging this up with alcohol ink and using it in a steampunk journal? Ha, ha. Okay, so here is the glass. You know what? If I put a, do you see that? Let's not get fingerprints all over it. Do you see this tiny, teeny, tiny little lip here? What are the odds of this squeezing out, though? And getting on the glass. I'm just thinking, let's maybe on this one. This is what we call crafting by the seat of your pants. Don't try it on your own. Try it in front of your faithful public. Now, maybe I should just, oh, for heaven's sake, maybe I should just put a weight on that for the time being. Let that catch. And I can use maybe another one just as a viewfinder to see more, whoops, to see more or less what kind of image I'm looking at. I might as well get rid of this too. So for the first time in a long time, I don't have any videos done and scheduled and ready to go. So I apologize if you're used to sort of seeing something daily or nearly daily. I'm thinking now that I'm feeling more ambitious that I can get. I still think I like this blue. Get most of that in there. I could do this up here. Forget those little yellow buds there. Maybe go like so. And I'd still maybe have enough blue. And I know I do have at least one, probably three, maybe three more of these. Okay, is this good enough to handle? Now, I don't know why this is like this, but clearly that becomes a bit of a problemo. Or would it? If I glued that and had a backing on it, no one would know. Or do I avoid that area and do something like this instead? That might be good. Okay, let's do one of these big ones. So essentially, I'm coming up almost to the... I'm making it a little bigger than it needs to be so that I have some maneuverability. So just past these pink little buds. And then, of course, any little scraps that are left, I can put in a smaller, slide. But are these not the greatest things since sliced bread? Like, really? I love it. Okay, now that is pretty darn bumpy there. But I guess I'm not going to worry about it. I think I've already determined that no one is ever going to be writing at the back of these. So let's forget that idea. Actually, do I have any? Just trying. Oh yeah, here's a piece. Okay, let's glue this baby down so you can see what a big one looks like. So I can see what a big one looks like. Now this frame is plastic, but I don't think that would prevent it from taking some color if a person wanted to you know, sort of color it in some way. Although I have to say, I'm not one of those people that minds white. Oh. Would you believe I did it again? Had it the wrong side facing out. I probably need to reapply the, need to reapply the glue. Yeah, there's something very sort of pristine and fresh about white. Now this fabric is really quite thin, so you can you can see the, I guess, the warp and the weft of the, so I'm trying to keep it, you know, those lines going straight. Well, isn't that sweet? Now, I suppose, again, think of these things after you've done it. That seems like a bit of white space, which clearly it is. What I could have done is attach something there, like maybe a little teeny tiny die-cut butterfly or something. And, you know, at the fabric level, I can't very well do it now. I mean, I could, I guess, if I pulled this up, but how many times do we want to do that? Alternatively, I could do something on top of the glass there. Or the next one, I could plan to, you know, add something there. So I think the possibilities are pretty darn good. Now this lace was just kicking around. I took it off something. Oh, here's a cut edge. I took it off something the other day. Can I tell which is right or wrong here? I always think if I can't tell, then nobody else can. So you can see that adding a bit of lace would be so cute. Again, if this is the one where I'd want a bulb pin, probably didn't need to try to punch because it is only thin fabric, but I thought I had some. Where did I put them? Not there. Anyway, you know what bulb pins look like. I just thought I had a few within reach too. Apparently not. But you can imagine, you know, have it dangling like so. I probably want something there to counterbalance, or maybe, you know, a little bit of a lace cluster there. Have it go over, and in fact, with this one, with no, with, you know, full access to the actual linen, a person could very easily let's just do that. You know, maybe a little bit of pleating going on there. Again, it's sort of still keeping the integrity of the white. Anyway, I hope you guys are well. I need to spend some time today. Well, number one, I want to do a few videos just to build in some, whoops, I should put some on the plastic as well. Just to have some in this, what I call the slush pile. And, but also I need to work on some envelopes, because I need to get some envelopes out in the mail, the Happy Mail movement thing. Cutie cute. This I will trim. Okay, so some of these need back. Well, anyway, let me show you kind of what we've, maybe I can trim this now. It's probably grabbed it enough. Have it look a little better for the show and tell part. So I think I'm going to be cutting all sorts of things up. And I also like now, you know, that I've dug out these larger ones, the option of making something a little, you know, bigger. I'm going to think through the option of adding something to the fabric beforehand. And again, you know, you get to decide, like, is this something trailing or is this something that goes like this? You decide. You're in charge of it this time. This is another one that I would like to try, but again, I won't keep you here. That's probably too white. So maybe in this case, what I would do is try coloring the frame a bit. Well, why don't I just do that right this moment? Yeah, look at that. Cool. So we can see that that will work, and that's just my dry, dirty brush. So this way, I get most of this in here. Cool, 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 cool. Thanks, whatever that, and I will find that lady's name, because like I said, I have now subscribed to her. Speaking of subscribing, have you subscribed to my channel? So yeah, this will be, I'm going to carry on doing those. Oh, I did say I wanted to do the blue one too. And I'll do that. That is pretty lumpy bumpy, but again. And because, now it's nice to add this neutral, you know, this kind of stuff to the back, just because, you know, if you paper clip it into a journal, or you decide to punch a hole and have it hanging from a bulb pin or something, then, you know, if it turns or flips or whatever, it is finished at the back. But I'm not going to worry about picking nice paper or I'm not going to worry about, it has to be a certain type of paper, because clearly it doesn't, because it won't be written on. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm going to let you go. I want to do a few more of these because it's sort of my practice. I'm kind of poor at posting on Instagram, but if I take photos of a finished project or something that I've done in a video to drive traffic to the channel and blah blah blah, that whole marketing thing that we have to do, then you'll see that I will have decorated these up further, and have a few more ideas on how to finish them. So I would suggest that if you love this idea as much as I do, that you find some linens, find some slide frames. I guess that there are also dies where you can, make your own. And in that case, you could make your dies, like if you're using cardstock, you could make your dies be whatever color they want. Like I think that black would probably be pretty dramatic. I don't think I have a die to do that, to be honest, but who knows? I've been wrong before, goodness knows. So yes, thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Give me a thumbs up, make a comment, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.